story, The Last Leaf of Winter. In a quiet village resting beneath the shadow of an old mountain, there lived a young woman named Mai, 18 years old, with her grandmother in a small wooden house. Mai rarely spoke much. Her eyes, though gentle, carried a depth of sadness that words could never reach. That winter was colder than any before. Frost covered the window panes, and the old tree in the garden had already shed nearly all its leaves. Inside, Mai's grandmother lay weak in bed, her breaths shallow and soft. The old woman had raised Mai since she was a baby. For Mai, her childhood was filled with the smell of herbal tea, the warmth of a fire crackling in the evening, and the stories her grandmother told under the oil lamp's flickering light. But time moves on, and even love cannot stop its flow. Her grandmother's health was fading, like a candle slowly burning out. The doctor came one morning and quietly said, "She doesn't have much time left." Mai sat beside her grandmother every night, holding her fragile hands. The silence between them was heavy, yet comforting. Outside the window stood the old banyan tree, almost bare now, except for one single leaf, clinging stubbornly to its branch. Her grandmother once told her, "When the last leaf falls, my time will come, Mai." Mai never believed in omens, but something inside her heart trembled each time the wind blew. Every morning, she would open the window just to check. Was the leaf still there? And every time it was, she felt a tiny spark of hope. Then one night, a storm came. The wind roared through the mountains, rain slammed against the walls, and the world outside turned wild and furious. Mai rushed to the window, staring at that last leaf swaying helplessly in the wind. She ran outside barefoot, trying to shield it with her hand, as if her love could protect it from the storm, but the storm was stronger. The leaf tore free, twirling once in the air before disappearing into the darkness. The next morning her grandmother was gone. The house fell silent. No sound of the kettle boiling, no gentle humming from the bed. Just the faint smell of dried herbs and the whisper of the cold wind slipping through the cracks of the wall. Mai sat there numb, holding her grandmother's shawl. The world felt empty, like that tree outside, stripped bare and lifeless. Days turned into weeks. Mai hardly spoke to anyone. She wandered through the garden, tracing her fingers along the frozen branches, whispering to the air as if her grandmother could still hear her. Then, one early spring morning, as she poured water onto the roots of the old tree, she noticed something, a tiny green bud, glistening with dew. It was small, fragile, yet alive. Her heart leapt. She smiled through her tears for the first time in months. In that moment, she understood, nothing truly ends. Life always finds a way to begin again. From that day on, Mai changed. She started to smile at people passing by. She grew herbs in her garden and opened a small tea shop, just like her grandmother used to dream about. Every morning, she would brew 2 cups of tea, one for herself and one for her grandmother, placing it on the windowsill beneath the sunlight. Villagers often came to her shop not only for tea but for comfort. They said her place had a special warmth, like the spirit of her grandmother lingered there. In the corner of her shop, framed on the wall, hung the dried last leaf, pressed between 2 pieces of glass. Underneath it, a simple inscription read, "Thank you for teaching me that loss is not the end. It's the reminder to cherish every beginning." And when winter came again, the wind blew just like before. But Mai no longer feared it. She would stand at the window, smile at the bare branches, and whisper, "See you in the spring, Grandma," because she knew now that even after the coldest winter, there will always be another spring. Life lesson lost does not mean the end. Every goodbye hides a seed of a new beginning. If we learn to see life with gratitude, even pain can become the soil where hope grows again.